Welcome to my channel Vox Heaven. Today I'm going to read Light of Divinity. Preface. This book of blessing began at Sri Guruji's behest. Those whom he would ask to narrate or write down their satsangs would offer them to him. He would then pass it on for his website and his book. In 2006, one did not know the reason for the exercise. Now it is apparent. Despite a year of labor, the book could not be laid at his lotus feet. He had not meant it to be so. These are not just cherished and unique memories. These are experiences in and of faith. They are the first moments of love toward the divine. They embody the ever-living Spirit. They are sacrosanct. May they bring His blessings into your lives wherever you read them. To beloved Guruji, dear Father, Soul Creator, please accept our humble offering. अव्वल अल्लाह नूर उपाय, कुदरत के सब बंदे, एक नूर से सब उपजाए, कौन भले कौन मंदे. Shri Guru Simran. Our motherland has been blessed with the presence of Mahapurush, who have since millennia been the helmsmen of its destiny. It is to them, in their sheer power to invoke, nurture, and protect Dharma, that the country owes its survival. It is to them that we owe the sustenance of our faith and nurturing of our unique, all-embracing ethos. These immortal sons of God have been the teachers of this country since a past unknown to historians and only allegorically represented in myths. India, with its great brood of men and women, has sat patiently before the seat of the Mahapurush and listened. And what it listened to has been given unstintingly to all lands, to all men. India is beloved of the saints. Its streams, its hills, its placid plains, its icy peaks speak of yearning for the divine that is its lifeblood, its line of faith. And the divine has often answered the call and descended to the humble abode of men. Within our era, Guruji was the embodiment of the divine. He was the Mahapurush of our age. He came to uplift humanity out of the morass of materialism. He came to guide it to its righteous duty. He came to lessen the sorrow of man, to show him his true image, to teach him the forgotten art of love and of sharing. He came to revive Dharma and to replant it in more conducive surroundings. He said that he was an evolution of divine light. He was not a body, a personality. For him, these were, so to say, the bodily dresses of existence. He was the blooming flower, and the devotees were the humming bees, coming for divine nectar. They were drawn and they fell in love with him, and he taught them love, renunciation, and wisdom, the very virtues on which India stands. There are no words to describe or evoke a Mahapurush like Guruji, for words can't capture the infinite like signpost. They can only indicate the way and help the traveler along. They are merely, with the blessing of Guruji, catalysts. They are not him, and therefore they should be taken as tools and discarded once they have been made use of. He was known to all of us by a common noun that is perhaps the most common in a land of faith, Guruji. Yet, this Vedic word contains a vast hoard of meaning and energy. If a disciple ever made so bold as to ask him what his name was, he would always say that Mahapurush have no name. And with this statement, he told us who he was, an ambassador of God, the king of all the worlds, nay, him himself. For the Guru is God. The Guru knows no one else but God. The Guru has no separate identity from that of God. It is now said that he attained Mahasamadhi on 31st May 2007, and we believe it because we had begun to know him as a body and a personality. We had become attached to him. But in the blink of an eye, his body was gone. He drew the curtains on the role he chose to play, for he was an avatar, a descent of divinity into flesh. He was Shiva, Nanak, and love incarnate. His Maya was powerful, and at its beguiling behest, we saw him as a body and as a person. Yet it was never so. He was and is Ekomkar. And he remains. He remains as our Holy Father, and we remain forever his children. Aren't it seems till we learn to listen to him as India always has patiently, fully. It is said, and it is true, that by merely listening to the Guru, one becomes enlightened. Listen well then with these few pages, these satsangs, to what Guruji has to say. It is his gift to his beloved children, and it is his word to you. This brings us to the end of today's chapter. I hope these words brought you peace. The way Guruji's presence brings blessing to Sangat. If this touched your heart, do share it with someone who need to hear it. Subscribe and join me again for the next reading. Till then, Jai Guruji.